So what was that like for you going through that with Morgan and being, she was the one going through the surgery and choices to do IVF, but it has a huge impact on you.
I tried not to think about it because I knew she was suffering way, way, way more than I was suffering. And she was the one that was enduring physical and emotional pain. What was my pain as part of this? There is, and I don't think it's men supporting women doing this. I don't think you should just discount, that. I think that there's a time and a place. In that moment, I think you're just so focused on being supportive as best you possibly can be. There's a routine you have to follow. I mean, you go through the surgery and there's things that you have to do after the surgery. And you're just so engrossed in that moment of doing all of those processes. And gosh, it has to get done. It just has to get done. There's nobody else there who's going to do it. You do it and you do it out of love. But the other thing is Morgan's a strong New Yorker. She's tough as nails. And if she could handle this, she could handle anything. And I admired her all of the way for that. Men, as we know, can very well be affected by this also, if they're carriers. So it's really important. Also, we talk about things, taking care of ourselves, knowing these sorts of things, not just for ourselves, but for our children, for the next generation and the generation after that, that they can be aware of it and be able to make their own informed decisions to be able to do something about it. But if it is a case like ours, where you're supporting someone who has this, it's everything that you possibly can to go through every moment and provide that support physically, emotionally, everything that you can do. It's a challenge, but to think about the opposite, to think about it's incomprehensible to think about losing a spouse, especially someone that you've married and that you won't plan to spend the rest of your life with. You certainly don't want that to happen. So you're going to do everything in your power to help the person so that you can both stay healthy for a very long time. My why for getting tested? For our children. I mean, honestly, yeah, for myself too. And of course, for me, it was a relief to find out that I was not BRCA positive. I mean, my family genetics, thank God we have not had really much of any incidence of cancer at all. Other diseases, but not necessarily cancer. So first and foremost, it's important just to know. And that in and of itself is a relief. Okay, I don't have to deal with it in that way. But, for family planning, I keep thinking about this. It's been like running through my mind ever since we first got the diagnosis that the previous generation didn't even know what BRCA was, right? Had no idea. This generation, we know, and we can do something about it, albeit a very invasive and painful physically and emotionally procedures. The next generation, we can plan so that it won't even be in existence, that they won't ever have to give it a thought. So through careful family planning, hopefully that's my why, is that the next generation, they won't have to deal with this.